Hello, everyone. Before we start, let's close our eyes and take a few breaths. And for the next inhale, let's chant Om together. Om. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Life Management Yoga Center Global Fans Online platform to celebrate the 25th years in Hong Kong. And I have graduated from the LMYC 500 yoga teacher training. I start my yoga as just a form of exercise to build up my physical strength, flexibility in very first beginning. I didn't know yoga has such deep philosophy and such inspirational and meaningful. Before yoga education, I was a quick-tempered person. Then I become more calm. My mind is more settled and better. Life Management Yoga Center Hong Kong, known as LMYC HK, founded by Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja in 1998, is a non-profit yoga center and is credited with the international acclaimed Yoga Alliance USA and Ahuji Ministry of India. LMYCHK is affiliated to the Prime Minister Award-winning the Yoga Institute, chaired by Revered Dr. Hansaji Yogendra. I'm honored to be here with Ms. Sneha Arora, our special guest, the founder of Yoga Heart. Also the representative of the in Dubai, UAE. Let me share with you a short video about our lovely guest tonight.
Introducing Sneha Arora, singer and yoga teacher at the Yoga Institute. Today, 17 years later, she represents the Yoga Institute in the UAE. With the blessings of Mahansaji.
In 2008, during the 10th anniversary of L1C, she has a good fortune to visit the Life Management Yoga Center in Hong Kong as a team of Dr. Hansaji for the 2 days workshop at Big Kai Fung Hall with over 200 mats. And later, she also traveled with her in France and Dubai. Miss Sneha has enthusiastic exposure as an Indian classical singer. Her first mantra album was out in 2002. She is a formally trained vocalist and conducts Bhakti Yoga sessions internationally at the Yoga Fest and studio. She has conducted mantra meditation sessions in different countries like India, Turkey, Bali, and US and France. Journey with Nanda, the spiritual self, and yoga over 17 years has made her an inspiring personality. A holistic way of living and teaching people the essence of yoga and devotion in their life is her motto and mission. So now, let's welcome Ms. Neha to our live chat.
Namaste.
Namaste, Neha ji.
Thank you so much for a wonderful
introduction.
Sorry, one
And
second. Uh, okay. Namaste, Snehaji.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank
Before we
you.
actually, yeah, thank you for coming with joining the
Mhm.
live chat with me.
Yes.
Before the actual start, I want to like express how amazing the universe work, because like when I was young and when I was studying in school, I was a singer as well. I
Mm.
participate a lot of choir group and as a team of the a cappella. So and right now, I feel so amazed that I can interview one of the inspirational singing yogi. So do you think like how amazing is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's always a divine connection. We don't meet without
Mhm.
reason, without
Yes.
purpose.
So once again, thank you so much to joining us to the live chat and sharing your yoga journey with us.
Yes, my pleasure. Totally my pleasure.
Thank you so much. So, our first question, I just wish to know that what made you choose a yoga teacher training course for a year over an MBA degree when you was young?
So I give a lot of credit to my music mentor, my spiritual guide, Sri Harinder Khurana. I was learning music and from him, and he just said one line to me when I was 18. He said, "You need to practice yoga to build a very calm temperament as an artist." And that line stuck with me. And I had decided that when I complete my education and want to pursue, higher education further, I will take a break to learn yoga. And
Yeah.
that's when yoga happened, and I entered the Yoga Institute at just the age of 21 or so. And I thought I'll just take a year gap. I'll do this teacher training course, and then I'll pursue, my further studies. I'll go for it. I'll, pursue some other stuff, maybe a marketing degree or something like that. And before I could even venture into that, I think the path took over me rather than me taking the path, because I was very, very fortunate to have the blessings of Hansaji. And later, I even came to Life Management Yoga Center in Hong Kong in 2008. It was just, in those times, I had a lot of authentic exposure and very heart to heart, warm learning from the teachers, from the gurus being passed on to students, that kind of atmosphere.
Yes, right. Thank you so much. And I think sometimes, like when we are living in the modern world, a sort of break or like take a inspirational journey is what we need to reset our footstep and see clear our goal or like the goal of our life is.
Yes.
So I know that you are very experienced in the Nada yoga, but for our audience, they may not know what it is. Would you mind explaining that?
Yes, surely. So basically, the word nada means sound. And as we all know, yoga enthusiasts know that yoga itself as a word means union. Union with what? The higher self. So when we combine the two, nada yoga, it becomes union of self through sound, or union of sound. You see? And in nada, when we're talking about nada in yoga, we're not referring to just any sound.
Mm,
We're referring to a spiritual sound. We're referring to a vibration, a frequency, which
mm,
creates something, or which helps us bring back harmony, which already should have been there within us. Yes.
right.
So when we're connecting back with that nada,
Mhm.
using it as a medium or an object of concentration to go deeper within, it becomes nada yoga.
I
The
see.
vibration
Okay.
of the sound.
And would you mind elaborate a little bit more of the importance of the nada sound and how does it work or like affect our body or individuals?
Yes. So there is a lot, that I can speak about this, because you see, as human beings, it is believed that we were all created, all creatures, everything, life happened on Earth because of vibration,
Okay.
sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when that happened, automatically the law of creation happened, and it became manifest in the form of human life.
So in Nada Yoga, or and singing any Sanskrit mantra, Sanskrit is not just a language; it's more of pronunciations.
Yes.
Okay, and these pronunciations were manifest. They were manifest from the mouth of Brahma. Brahma is
Mm-hmm.
again, the God. But here, I want to just elaborate more that when we talk about God here, it means deity. There's a difference between God and deity. Deity is something which is divine energy. Hmm?
Okay.
So Sanskrit was kind of these spiritual sounds were manifest through their mouths. Okay,
Mm.
and hence there is such a lot of vibration and frequency that it carries that we feel its healing effect. So, for example, I was just yesterday conversing with my music mentor and my teacher, my guru, and we were discussing about. We were singing, of course. I was doing my practice, and we were chanting the mantras. We were chanting Om, and he just gave me a simple example. He said, if somebody comes to you and you go to somebody's home, you're having tea together, and the person is offering you, would you like to have some tea? And your response would be, yes, sure, why not? But if someone says to you, yeah, tea, you will automatically feel like, you know what, I don't need it, thank you.
Mm.
Even the way and the tone, the frequency, the way it was communicated made a difference in the person's response, right? So
Mm.
automatically, the same way when we're singing sounds or we're listening to them, they have that effect because there is a particular, vibration to it, just in that transition.
I see, I see. As I learned like some of the very ancient yoga philosophy that is about the how sounds related to space, and it's like transmitting through all the spaces, and how to get into our like vein and blood, those kind of thing. It's like bring a lot of effect to us. So, can you mind sharing like the when we actively singing or like chanting through our vocal cord, how does it affect to our like the flow tracker?
Yes. So I'll speak about two things, the first part and the second part of your question. Firstly, as human beings, when we are how these things have a healing effect on us when we are listening, and then on the throat chakra when we are singing. So scientifically, it has been proven that the first body part that is, that a baby tends to dwell up in the mother's womb is that the ear, and that's the
Mm.
last, yes, that's the last organ as well which loses its sense, you see. So the sense of hearing is the last one to go when you're getting old, you know. so
Mm.
uh, so what this itself says that how important the listening is, and how much power it can have, that a baby can start listening first from the womb itself, whether it can make sounds or not, whether it can see or not, but it can start listening. And that is why in Bhagavad Gita as well, there are so many stories about Abhimanyu and how he listened to Krishna's voice while in the womb, right? So all these stories are there because hearing has its own healing power. And now, when it comes to chanting it, how it affects the throat chakra is that, you see, our throat chakra, what do we use it for? We use it for expression, we use it for communication, right? And when this is blocked, people misunderstand us, or we are unable to express what we fully feel. We giggle it away, or we will stay silent and we'll suppress it. And all these things affect the throat chakra. When you start chanting, anybody can chant, anybody can sing. When you start doing that, it automatically becomes a medium for you for expression. And what are you expressing? You're expressing scientific pronunciation. And when you add a little bit of bhava, which is the feeling of love and devotion for divine, automatically it converts to even a more powerful tool, you know? So, yes.
Okay, so I guess sound is a really powerful tools to like let's say connect people or like healing for our
Yes.
body or like to our physical level even, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
guess it's so amazing, and so let's say because you mentioned the Bhakti Yoga for few time, as
Yes.
again not all of our audience familiar with the term of Bhakti Yoga. Would you mind sharing a little bit what does it mean for Bhakti Yoga?
Yes. So you see, we have various ways to connect with our inner self. Some people do it through selfless action, like just constantly focusing on karma, on action, and not thinking about fruits and doing it with the correct virtues behind it. Some people achieve it through focusing on studying scriptures, jnana yoga. Some people achieve that same spiritual awareness and enlightenment through raja yoga, which is involves so many practices, hatha yoga, etc. And some want to take the path of bhakti yoga. Bhakti is the shortcut to attain that enlightenment. Bhakti means devotion. So anything done with devotion becomes bhakti yoga. And if you are chanting, and that form of action is also a part of bhakti yoga, which is kind of connecting people and bringing them into oneness with the use of spiritual sound, because all mantras carry certain vibrations. And these vibrations we all feel, you know so that's like about mantras and about bhakti. So
I
bhakti yoga
see.
is very important to practice if you want to achieve a higher state of being.
I see, I see. Because a lot of, let's say, because I live in Hong Kong, right? And a lot of people start yoga. It's just like a mat yoga, so it's the
Mhm.
physical form. So that's
Yes,
why for my journey, because I start learning from the mat as well, and then I start stepping into the LMYC, bring me amazing advanced yoga teacher training, and I learn what is the karma yoga mean, which just like selfless action. I feels like I'm going through in this part, but all the path of yoga doesn't mean they are like kind of like separate. So you are going
absolutely.
on the karma yoga and bhakti yoga like along the way, but which one is like
Absolutely.
stronger, and like how you choose your path, like let's you just mention is like jnana yoga is the studying scripture that much.
Mhm.
So everyone can choose different path of yoga. So we are
Yes.
here to let's say bring this discussion to all the audience that say yoga is not just about the mat.
Absolutely. It is you start from the mat. That's where we all started, right? It's the
Mhm.
strongest limb, the most attractive limb. It's
Mhm.
like asana practice is something that
Mhm.
attracts us to know more. And
Yeah,
then when we start feeling something on the mat, we want to know, why did I feel this?
yeah.
Why did I not feel this in the gym class or in, that running exercise, you see?
Mhm.
But why did I feel something? Why did I cry when I did a forward bend? And that's when our curiosity begins to understand the philosophy of yoga. These movements are bringing a certain sense of joy, a certain sense of reflection, contemplation, going within, and we
Yeah.
want to always know more.
Yeah, so this is why I'm putting myself with the LMYC, and now I'm here. Just I wish more people and understand yoga is not just about the mat. We have so many ways, like we can do like singing, we can like studying the scripture. There's so many way and forms of yoga.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so do you know that do you think that youth around the world needs yoga in their life?
I think everybody does need that, especially the coming generation needs it even more because unfortunately their lives are already filled with too much misinformation and gadgets and distraction. And I think if they get introduced to the power of knowledge and health and concentration, these techniques earlier in life, I think they have lesser probability to go astray and get distracted. So definitely, every youth should take up yoga as a practice, even if it's initially just for their body, and gradually they will come to that maturity to realize it's about mind, body, and spirit together, and that's the message to youth that I have.
Yeah, thank you. And what about what is the modern concept of yoga? What do you think about that?
So, firstly, what happens is because of the shallow and the mass spread of the word yoga, unfortunately, people have heard that term so much that they associate it with flexibility because there are too many Instagram posts with flexible moves or somebody being extremely divine and cut off from this world and being like a virtuous human being, being tagged as someone who cannot make mistakes and as a yogi. or someone who cannot lose his temper and is too calm. These are the kind of different, tags people understand with, if somebody says that I'm practicing yoga. Or the other thing people understand it that, oh, it's all about meditation. So
Mm,
there are different, shallow viewpoints, or I would say, I would not even call them shallow. I would say, um, uh, 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 the word I would like to say is not completely aware of the entire
mm,
subject.
yes.
So half knowledge. And so
Mm,
we associate the term of yoga with all these parts of it, little parts. So
yes.
but I guess it's our duty to educate the world that yoga is a way of life, and each one is practicing it, certain elements even without knowing. For example, faith is practiced every day. If you're setting up an alarm, I always say you already are practicing faith because you know that you're going to wake up the next day, and that is the simplest act of yoga that you did. You implemented faith. You didn't think twice that I will wake up or not. So you see, in the simplest things, people are applying. But of course, if you formally start educating yourself with yoga, the way Patanjali has documented it for our learning, then you'll have a more conscious living.
Mm, okay. So when you start your yoga career like 18 years back as the yoga teacher, you conduct like 1,000 sessions with the corporate workshop. So how things are different before and now?
So I still teach in a lot of corporates and teacher trainings in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and otherwise. Earlier, I never needed to sugarcoat things because I could just say, okay, let's practice yoga. Now I have to sugarcoat things because people think, oh, we don't want, because they're so resistant to learning yoga because of the misled information. For example, oh, I got injured in the class, so you guys injuring me, so I don't want to attend the class. Or something like, oh, something else happened, some bad experience they must have heard or seen or experienced. And hence I have to, and make them realize that not everybody who's propagating and promoting yoga is doing it correctly. So hence, that, as I said, because of the mass spread, there is good and there is bad. The good
Mm,
is that there is also awareness about it. People are drawn towards understanding it. Their lives have been helped. And the bad part is where just half information is heard, and whatever little is heard, that is kind of taken seriously. So
I
yeah,
see.
so social media can be good, it can be bad. Like here, it's good right now what we're using it for, and it can be bad if somebody's influencing it and just showing a snippet of partial part of picture of what you actually can achieve through yoga practice.
Right. So amongst all the years of teaching or like workshop for sharing yoga in all of the ways you have, do you mind sharing one of the most rememberable story of your like teacher journey?
Uh, so many. In fact, me as a student or me as a teacher?
Could be both. Just like one of the story that
One of
like.
yeah, so one of my memories is coming to Hong Kong and, at the LMYC center. I think I must be just 25 or something. And there was Hansaji, there is Vijaya ma'am, and Dr. Sethi from the institute. And I was this young girl with them. And I think that was the most memorable, the most blessed trip I could have had, because I learned so much, being with masters, being with my guru, and also Sangeeta ji was there, and it was really a humbling experience for me, and addressing so many people, and I think there were more than 1,000 people in that hall when we did, we
Yes.
discussed yoga philosophy, we did asana practice, we had discussions on diet. So that was a very memorable time for me. And there were many such events like this. There was a session I conducted in 2019 on the Yoga Day in Chicago, and it was at the Millennium Park. And it was, again, a crowd of 400 people. And within 15-20 minutes, I had to really insert, values of yoga to them. I did it through yoga, laughter yoga. I did it through some, sukshma vyayam, which is stretches, and then, explained about positivity. So I had to put it, sugarcoat it, but I could insert a little bit.
I see. Cause Thank you for much sharing. And because we are nowadays living in the modern world, do you have any hints or any tips to share with the modern people how we can like start our yoga practicing?
Absolutely. So, I will in fact quote Hansaji on this. She herself says that you can do it in the simplest forms. So, simple things like lifestyle changes, like waking up early, sleeping on time, stretching your body the moment you wake up on the bed, yastikasana, just extending your arms above the head on the bed 4 5 times. It's giving a good stretch to the spine. So these small things, that waking up and the first thing, try to have some warm water, sit down and drink water. So these small changes are also part of yogic lifestyle. And then you could attend some asana classes, take care of your health, do some pranayam. This is how you could start your journey little by little.
Yes, okay. I know that Snehaji, you have a YouTube channel. You put on a lot of mantra singing.
Yes.
We would love to hear you sing like in our like special live platform. Would you mind doing that for us?
Absolutely. My pleasure completely. So, the contribution that I could give, the least contribution staying away from the Institute was to contribute to their latest app, the Nispan, the app, which has a lot of meditations and mantras, which is the only way I could contribute to that app. So, that app has that. And my channel, Yogi Hearts, that has a lot of mantras. Soon, all this music will be available on Spotify as well. I'll play. You want me to sing live first or play the sound first?
Um, I think we would love to
Hear me live.
hear sing first.
Okay.
Yes, thank
So I'm going to sing a mantra again.
you.
The mantra is a very, very powerful one. It is the Om mantra, and it says that Om is in everything. It's the vibration which is in everything, and I'm going to sing that mantra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
ओङ्कारं बिन्दु संयुक्तम् नित्यं ध्यान्ति योगिनः कामदां मोक्षिदं चैव ओङ्काराय नमो नमः तुझ में ओम मुझ में ओम सब में ओम समाया तुझ में ओम मुझ में ओम सब में ओम समाया.
It was very lovely, Nehaji. Because in the very first beginning, I already like start closing my eye to enjoy your spiritual singing. I guess our audience will do that as well.
I'm sure. I'm sure this is a very small snippet that I did, and I could play maybe a sound, the Asadoma Mantra from my channel, and we could all close our eyes and listen to that for 2 minutes, if that is okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Can you like try to play that? Yeah. What's?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु
So I hope you all could hear that sound of Asatoma, Sadgamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Amritangamaya. Okay.
So I remember like for the lyrics or like the scripture, it actually means like from ignorance lead me to the truth, from darkness lead me to the light, and from the death lead me to immortality. So it's
Yeah.
Om, peace, peace, peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And thank you so much to bring this very powerful or like meaningful scripture, as in the modern world a lot of us is just like living to our life without a true purpose. So when we the scripture said is from ignorance lead us to the truth, I think everyone know about the meaning through the sounds of your singing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So all I could say is that even if you can't sing, you can maybe start listening to chants
Mhm.
and raise your vibration, you know.
Yes.
So there are a lot of people that we come across in day-to-day living, and
Mhm.
how we don't want to associate sometimes with people is because they're staying in a low vibration. Or
Yeah.
if we sometimes our own vibration goes down because of our own mind or influences, hence we need to raise it as well. So listening and chanting mantras definitely raises the vibration, you know. So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Nihaji, for your sharing. I think you share us a lot from the first why you choosing to have a year of teacher training instead of like to have a stop from your MBA study. And
yeah.
then why you choosing the nada yoga, the spiritual sounds for your yoga journey, and share us like there's a lot of way of practicing yoga, not just on the mat. We have karma yoga, jnana yoga, and what you're doing is the bhakti yoga, which is so amazing. And the sounds, how it's healed through even through we are just listening. We don't have to or like need to sing how to do it like beautifully like you do, but just like listen to the spiritual sounds is actually will input in a way of like practicing yoga.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
It is so inspiring from your sharing, and let me like just thank you again for joining us in the global yoga fans platform.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's been a
Mhm,
pleasure having a chat. There is
mhm.
much more we can discuss, and if we have the time again, we will meet and discuss more.
Yes, thank you so much. To ending
Thank
this,
you.
please, dear all viewer, let me share with you the delighting news. This the 23rd of June, during the 8th of International Day of Yoga, LMYC launched the Cantonese class in addition to our regular English class to foster closer the bond with the local community, which has integrated by the Honorable Vice Consul Mr. Salam of Indian Consulate, Hong Kong. LMYC would also like to extend its heartfelt gratitude Indian Council Hong Kong and Indian Embassies Beijing for uniting LMYC Hong Kong with 75 yoga schools across China and Hong Kong on the 18th of June to celebrate the International Day of Yoga, to celebrate the 75th of independence of India. So dear everyone, let's stay connected and follow us on Facebook, Instagram for more updates. And this beautiful video will be also uploaded on the LMYC YouTube channel and Facebook page for your loved one. And stay tuned to this on the last Monday of July, which is like 25th of July, for the next inspiring yogi, which will be announced soon. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.